What is going on, guys? Let's dive right into these charts. So 38K is a very important level for Bitcoin, and it's something that we've really struggled with lately. So for example, the first time we broke below 38K, we came to 29K. The second time we went up to test 38K as resistance now, and we came back down to 31K. We went above 38K and dropped back below it. When we dropped back below it, we came to 33K. The most recent time that we faced a rejection here at 38K, we came all the way down to 31K. So we just got back up to 38K, and are we being rejected? That's what we have to keep an eye on. We do have a little bit of support here that has been being built at 35K. We did ultimately crash below that, as you can see in the recent past. So we did come back up and tested a support right here. And I'm hoping we can somehow stay in that range. But I wouldn't be surprised if we did come back down to these early 30s levels. So if we look on the daily time frame, and let's pull up the Keltner channel here. So if we look at our Keltner channel, we actually were on top of this Keltner channel the entire bull run. We would use the bottom as support, come up, we'd stay above it, come use the bottom as support, use the bottom as support. And then once we did reach the top here, 64,000, at 64K, we did crash all the way down through the bottom of the Keltner channel. We then went back up to test the top of it, which is now resistance. So ever since we've been at that top, 64K, we have been below the Keltner channel using the top of it as resistance. And the Keltner channel does tell us what trend we're currently in, right? So we've been just basically in one big massive downtrend, regardless of any of these spikes that have occurred lately. So there's that. We need to get back above the Keltner channel, because since it is being used as resistance, it can be used to keep pushing us downwards. The top of it is being used as resistance, pushing us down in a downtrend. So we need to get above this top Keltner channel line, and that would make me feel very confident about the market, a lot more confident than I have about the market. It's also just a major level, because that's also 42,000. That's right in this area of a major resistance level. So if we got above the Keltner channel and this resistance level, and that turned into our support, we would be in pretty darn good shape. So there's that. Let's take a look at one more thing for Bitcoin, also on the daily. So let's take a look at this death cross that could still be coming. The death cross is looking like it will cross. I think the 50 will move below the 200. This is, again, a short-term moving average. This is a long-term moving average. When you have a short-term, the 50 move below the 200, which is a long-term, that is a death cross. And the opposite of that is a golden cross. So we have been, kind of like the Keltner channel, we have been above the 50 the entire bull run until we got to the 64K level. It was the first time we broke below the 50. We are now below the 200. A lot of these altcoins are above the 200. So a lot of the altcoins are above the 200 and below the 50. Bitcoin is actually below both. So we still have a long ways to go for Bitcoin to really say that we're doing okay. As of right now, everything's not looking too hot. You know, all we've done is come back up to test this 38K level. The good thing that has happened is we have held this support level. This has held a support. So if that continues to hold this support, that is good news. And we have some support here too in the same levels. So we're kind of in this similar patterns as we were over here, you know, just doing the same kind of stuff. Are we going to be break to the downside or the upside? That is the question. I don't know how long we're going to sit and just consolidate sideways here. A move will have to be made, right? So that's that, guys. Let's look at some. But actually, one more thing. I hope you guys can see this. So we'll pull up the hourly chart. And I just wanted to show you guys this. All right, guys, now take a look at this. This is interesting. I know a few people have gone over this recently. So if you take a look, I mean, it's pretty spot on for the most part. I don't know how exact it needs to be considered a Wyckoff accumulation pattern, but to me, this very much so looks like we could be in this Wyckoff accumulation pattern. So I did want to point that out. I'm personally thinking that we could be, because almost everything matches up here. I saw a video of someone kind of breaking down how this doesn't match up technically, and I'm sure they know a lot more about Wyckoff accumulation patterns than I do. So anyways, I just wanted to point that out. Looks very, very, very similar. And other than that, guys, there's not much going on. There was the news the other day. Yesterday, let's take a look at some Bitcoin news before I let you guys go here. So Bitcoin is actually traceable. I was reading this article this morning because it's a false narrative that's going around that a lot of people who are uneducated in regards to Bitcoin cryptocurrencies, a lot of people believe that it's strictly used for criminal activity, that it's not traceable. They think that's just not traceable and that it's makes crime a lot easier to commit. When in turn, it's actually extremely traceable. You know, we can right here. This is the very first Bitcoin transaction ever, January 8th, 2009 at 6:54 p.m. The transaction occurred. Shows the amount. Shows the amount of confirmations. It shows the reward that the miner was paid, etc. So it goes over a lot there, and I was able to pull that up in 1 second. So it is, in fact, very traceable. And then we have the Donald Trump news the other day saying that, you know, he thinks it's a scam. And that just tells me Donald Trump's extremely uneducated on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and that's okay. You know, and one thing is that in regards to USD, fiat, he's trying to compare fiat to Bitcoin, and that's just not comparable. So that's one thing. You know, you can't compare Bitcoin to fiat currency because we are far superior, Trump. We are far, far, far more superior than any fiat currency that exists. So, yeah, all of that stuff, you know, Trump saying that, the government, at the end of the day, if the market wasn't so crazy, it would make me want to purchase more. That's me personally. Because I feel like they're being very threatened by this. So anyone who's unfamiliar with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, most of them are very threatened because they don't know. They don't know how this works, and they don't know. Yeah, they just don't know anything about blockchain technology or Bitcoin or the science behind it, the technology behind it, and how it can actually change the world and be a solution to poverty and all sorts of stuff. So. Yeah, here's the long and short ratios. It looks like more people are fairly even. 86% long on Femex. This is strictly for Bitcoin, guys. So I would say it's actually pretty even for the most part. Anyways, guys, that's basically what I'm watching with the charts here. And I will keep you guys updated if we get any more news, updates, or price action that occurs. We're going to be starting a podcast soon. It is going to be a podcast where we discuss all things crypto. So there'll be a lot of humor involved. Probably not kid friendly, but we're going to talk about the past, the future of crypto. We're going to talk about the technology behind it. We're going to talk about a lot of the projects that we like that are maybe new or have been around for a while that are doing new things, etc. So we're going to discuss all things crypto, any important news, any funny news. We're going to talk about all of the clowns that are talking bad about crypto and really have no knowledge of it. So we'll be roasting some people like that, etc., etc. So stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel here. Please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. I am new to YouTube, but I am not new to cryptocurrencies. So I have been in cryptocurrency since 2016. But anyways, guys, thank you. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys shortly.